Welcome back. In this video we're going to create this table, which is actually a pretty detailed object. Now if I zoom over here and I'll press F3 on the keyboard so that you can see the wireframe, I see that I have a lot of details that I want to add, but luckily these details are reproducible at every corner of the table. Therefore I can create one copy and mirror it in the X and Y directions to create the opposite parts. So let's get started. First, I'm going to switch to my top view and I'm going to create a rectangle. Now this rectangle is going to be, let's go to edge. This rectangle is going to be 60 by 80 centimeters. So there. Now my rectangle is going to be above the ground, lifted up to a value of 50 or 40, let's say, centimeters. Yeah, 40. Alright, now I'm going to go back to my top view and I'm going to create another rectangle, which is going to be the base of my leg, and here I'm going to choose center on the creation method, and that way I can create the rectangle starting from the center. Now I need the length and the width to be 8 centimeters, and again I'm going to create another one with a length and width of 6 centimeters this time. Okay, so this is what I have so far. Okay, now what I'm going to do is select the bigger rectangle, right click and convert to editable spline. And then I'm going to expand and go to vertex, and I'll select this vertex and move it down here. Now I'll select the inner one and right click, convert to editable spline again, and I'll select all these vertices, right click and choose corner. The reason I did that is because now I'm going to select this vertex and delete it. Okay, so seeing this from the perspective view, it's pretty good. What I need to do now is create this bulge at both sides of my leg. So if I select this object here just for reference, I'll see that it has two bulges, one here and one there, at both sides or at both ends. So this is what I'm going to do right now. I'll first select my triangle and I'll select these two vertices, and I'll scroll down and I'll choose to chamfer these vertices by a value of 1 centimeter. Okay, now I'm going to go down here and I'll choose arc, and I'll make sure that snap is set to vertex in this case. I'll take this vertex, go to the other side and create an arc. Now you can choose the radius that you like for the arc. I'm going to keep it that way. I'll press shift and go choose an instance, and here I'm going to rotate my arc so that it coincides with the other part here. Okay, and then I'm going to move it close to one end. Alright, maybe it needs to be rotated a little bit more, so I'll give it a very slight nudge. Okay, and I'll go and choose snap to vertex and go like so. Alright, now I'm going to select this one again and go to attach, and I'll attach the two arcs together. So 1, 2. And then I'll click on segment and delete these two segments. Now I'm going to select all the vertices and choose weld, because at certain points, which is where the arc meets the triangle, I have two vertices at the same place. So when I choose weld, I merge them down into one vertex. Okay, so now I'm ready to extrude this. So I'll select it and choose modifiers, mesh editing and extrude, and I'll extrude by an amount of 40 centimeters. Okay, not bad. Now I'm going to select this one here and I'll choose modifiers. Go to modifier list and press B and choose bevel. Now the bevel will create this beveled shaped object, and these are the dimensions that I'm going to use. So I'm going to reset everything back to 0 so that I would show you how this is created. So first, when you start with the bevel, you have to define a height of 0.5, for example, and an outline of 0.5, and this will increase, this will extrude up and then scale up by a value of 0.5 centimeters. Then I'm going to choose level 2 and set the height to 2 centimeters, like so. Now I'll choose level 3 and set the height to 0.5, right, and the outline to -0.5. Alright, so there I have it. Now what I can do here at the bottom is set the bevel to 0, the outline to 0, if I don't want to bevel it from the bottom. But I'm going to do that, so I'm going to leave it that way. Okay, so now I have the leg of the chair, part of the leg finished. I'm going to go back to my top view. I'll go to create and choose cylinder and start the cylinder from here and go outwards and extrude up. Now I'm going to go to modify and set the height to 40, but I don't want to have the inner part of the cylinder because it's not going to show, therefore I want to delete it. And the best way to do that is to use slice. So I'm going to choose slice on, and I'll change the angle from a value of 225 to 45, and that will cut the cylinder like this. Now the size that I use are 8. You can increase them if you want to have more subdivisions, but 8 is a good value here. Okay, now the radius of my cylinder is going to be 1. Okay, let's check with the original model. There's my cylinder, and yes, the radius is 1. Now I'm going to go back to extended primitives and choose to create a chamfer box. I don't have to snap it right now because I'm going to move it anyway, but I have to locate it here at the center, so I'll make sure that x is equal to -30 and y is equal to 40 and z is 0. Now I'm going to zoom over here and I'm going to increase the length. Now I'm going to give this a height segment value of 100 because I'm going to twist it later and it needs to have a high amount of segments for the twisting to happen properly. And I'll just give it a fillet of 0.15. Alright, and I'm going to set the height to again 40. Now the magic trick or the magic modifier is in this case the twist modifier. So I'll choose parametric deformers, twist, and I'll up the angle, and my box is going to twist magically like so. Okay, so I'm going to set the angle to a value of 2300 or 2400. Now you can increase this. The more you increase the angle, the more twists you're going to have, but the more segments you're going to need to have a smooth twist here. So if I zoom over, I see that I have a very segmented twist here, so I'm going to increase the height segments to 200, and that will give me a better, smoother twist. But I'm going to leave it set to 100. And I'm going to increase maybe the width of my box, but I'm going to reduce the angle to a value of maybe like 2000. And I'm going to go to the top view and adjust the angle just slightly so that it goes parallel to this edge of my base. Okay, so this is what I have so far, which is pretty good. Now we're going to duplicate these into 4, and for that I'm going to select all these elements and go to my top view, and I'll make sure that snap is active and set to grid points and vertex. So I'm going to press shift and create a copy over here, choose instance, and I'm going to go and rotate this by a value of 90 degrees, negative 90 degrees in this case. And I'm going to press shift and go down again. Now I have to make sure that I'm snapping to the proper point, which is the center of the cylinder, snap to the corner of the rectangle. And then I will rotate again by 90 degrees. And the last one over here, zoom over. Okay, the snap is good, and I'll rotate again. Okay, so now I have my 4 legs complete. Okay. Now let's see what I have to do next. I'm going to extrude this rectangle, and I'll choose here, press E, and choose extrude, and I'll extrude by a value of 6 centimeters. Right. Now what I need to do is to create a shape that takes this curve here and go all alongside the table. And for that, I'm going to hide this object here, and I'm going to go back to my top view, and I'll go to shapes and I'll click on section. And I'll create a section that goes across the legs of the chair, of the table, sorry, and I'll move it up to a value of, say, 39. Now, it would be best for me to hide the chamfer cylinders. So I'm going to choose H on the keyboard. I'm going to select my chamfer boxes, sorry, and I'll right click and choose hide selection. Okay, so now you see that this section is going to cut or create a shape that conforms to the shape of the intersecting polygons. I'm going to go to modify and I'm going to check create shape, and I will delete my section. And I'm going to select this newly created shape, which is this. I'll choose right click, hide unselected, so that I can work with this shape. Now I also created some splines for the other original table, so I'll delete them. Okay, now what am I going to do with this? First of all, I'm going to go to segment. I'm going to delete these segments and those, and then I'm going to connect them. So it's a bit lengthy here. You have to be a bit patient so that you can finish everything properly. Okay, so I don't have to do all of them actually. I can do only one and then create duplicates, and this is what I'm going to do. So I'm going to work with this one here. I'm going to choose vertex and I'll choose connect, and I'll connect these vertices together, and then I'll connect these vertices together. Okay. Now what I need to do is connect all of the shapes together. So if I create copies, it's not going to do me all that good. I have to create the connections manually. Alright, so now I'm going to take this and drag down. I'm going to press to zoom out the brackets on the keyboard, and then zoom back in without releasing the mouse, and then I'll release it over here, and then I have my connection. Create the other connections here. Alright, now I'll take this, zoom out, again using the brackets, zoom back over here, and release over that vertex, and there you go. This is the connection. Another one here, and I think we have the last one. No, not the last one. So here, take this one, zoom out, connect it to that vertex, and the last one would be here. So take this one, zoom out, zoom back in, and this is the connection. Alright, so everything is nice now. Let's extrude this and see how this looks like. So this is the extrusion. We'll unhide all. Okay, and I'm going to extrude by a value of, first of all, this should be located at 40, and the extrusion is by an amount of 6. Now, actually the extrusion should not be 6. I'm going to set it to 1. And here, I'm going to create another shape and move it up, and this one is going to be an instance, and it's going to be set to a value of 45 or 46. Now the reason I did that is because here I'm going to have my mesh of wood blocks that would fill up the edges or the sides of the table. So I still need to create this part here at the corners. For that, I'm going to select this one, the top one, and I'll press Ctrl V on the keyboard and create a copy, and then I'm going to right click and choose hide unselected. Now what I'm going to do next is go to editable spline and choose spline. Now select the spline, and I'm going to outline it by a value of -0.5. Okay, and I'm going to delete the original. Okay, now you see that after this operation my shape got a little bit messed up, so I will fix it at one end and then create copies all across the other parts. So what I'm going to do is delete all of the segments except for one corner, which is over here. Delete this one too, and this one, and I'm going to create duplicates around here. So I'm going to choose vertex now, and I'll choose to connect the vertices from this end onto that one. Alright, now I'm going to click on spline, select this spline, and scroll down to where it says mirror. I'm going to check copy and check about pivot, and I'm going to click on mirror. Actually, let's see where the pivot point is located. Let's unhide everything. Okay, the pivot point should be located here so that the mirror goes to the other side. So I'm going to choose affect pivot only, and I'll type 0 for X. The Z value doesn't matter. So I'm going to go back to spline, select it, and mirror, and now it goes to the proper place. I'll select these two now, and I'll choose mirror in this direction here, and again they snap perfectly into place, and then I'll go to extrude. Now I'm going to hide unselected, okay, and I'm going to zoom back here. And I probably need to select all the vertices and weld them together. Now the amount of welding is a bit delicate over here. So first of all, I have this little vertex which needs to be deleted here. Okay, and I'm going to select these and set them to corner vertices. And that would fix the problem, and the same goes for this part here. Now I should have done this before I duplicated, because now I have to repeat it for all of them. Delete this one too. Okay, so I'm just gonna repeat the duplication process with this properly fixed here. So I'll make sure that all of them are fixed. Okay, so these go to corner. Okay, I'm gonna select all of the vertices and make them corner actually. Okay, so let's see if we have any more problems. I think everything's fine. Okay, I'm going to select all these vertices now, and I'm going to choose weld. Okay, so this one and just this one is good, so I'm going to delete all the rest, and I'll select it again and mirror it, and then select these two and mirror like so. And now my extrusion is perfect. Okay, so I'm going to unhide, but I'm going to lower these down to a value of 40, or say 41, and I'm going to extrude by a value of 6. Okay, now what I need to do next is create the meshes around the edges of the table. For that, let's hide this one, the original. I'm going to go to my, hide this one too. I'm going to go to my left view, and I'll zoom over and create a line, and this time I'm going to snap to grid points. Okay, I'm going to start over here and go like so, and create a line like this. Now I'm going to go to modify, choose spline, select it, and choose copy and mirror like so. Okay, so now I'm going to select these two. I'm going to press shift and drag copy again like this, but I'm going to select it again, select those, and create another copy like that. Okay, so now I have a dense mesh here, or a dense set of splines. So I'm going to press shift again, but make sure that you are snapping properly. Select all of these, and again move like so. So now I have the part created, so I'll press shift again and go to the other side like this. Okay, I'm not doing this right. Let me zoom over. Yes. Alright, so everything is properly done here. Let me have one last check. See, everything is even. Okay, it is. Now I'm going to extrude this, so I'll choose E, press extrude, and move this over here. I'll set the amount to 0.5. Okay, now in the top view, I'm going to zoom, and I'll align this to the blue edge here, which is the blue box. Now make sure that the X value is accurate, which is -30 in my case. Okay, beautiful. Now I need to mirror this to the other side, and for that I'll go to my top view, and here I'm going to choose the world coordinate system and choose use transform coordinate system, so that will make my center of the grid to be the mirror axis. So I'll choose mirror and I'll choose X and OK that. Good, so now I have them at both sides. I'm going to select one of them, which is let's press F3 and make the proper selection, and I'm going to press shift and rotate a copy, rotate by 90 degrees of course, and I'll choose copy this time, and I'm going to go back here to view and use point center, and I'm going to place this one right over here. Okay, I'm going to zoom over to make sure that my snap is set to vertex and grid point, and go like this. Okay, now this needs to be reduced in size, so I'm going to go back to spline and I'm going to select the extra splines. Yeah, this one, these, and no, let's keep the last one and delete them. Okay, very nice. Alright, I could have added one over here. So let's reselect the object, choose this one, okay, and press shift and create a copy there. Actually, here. Yeah, here. Alright, so that fills it up from this side too. I could have created another one, it doesn't matter. Alright, I undid what I deleted before, so I'll delete them again. Delete. Alright. So, actually it needs another one here, so let's fix it. Okay, spline. Select the spline, which is at this side, and press shift and create a copy like this. Okay, so it looks perfect now. Now I'll select it again, and of course I need to mirror in the y-axis now, so I'll choose use transform coordinate center, and I'll choose world, and I'll mirror in the y-axis. Beautiful. Okay, so let's unhide the original. Now I need to create these support parts down here, which are pretty easy actually. So what I'm going to do first, let's delete that. What I'm going to do first is go to my left view, and I'll create a rectangle. So I'm going to start over here. Actually, I need to uncheck center and go back to edge. I'll start, let's check grid points now, go back to view, and I'm going to start here and finish there. Now I'm going to right click, choose convert to editable spline, and go to vertex, take this vertex and go like this. Alright, so now I'm going to extrude this by an angle, by an amount of 1 centimeter, and I'll place it at a value of 30, so negative 30 for this one. Okay, so let's check it. Beautiful fit, very nice. Okay, so now I have to again create the mirrors. So I'll choose use transform coordinate center and world, and I'll create the mirror in the x-axis this time. Now I'm going to select these two, and I'm going to mirror them, but this time in the y-axis. So I'll choose mirror and choose y, and let's see that. Very nice. Now I need to create them from the other side, which is this one here. So I'll select one and press shift and create an instance, and I'll rotate that by an angle of 90 degrees. Okay, so I need to fix its position here, so I'll go and place it over here, and again I need to use snap. This time I need to use vertex and grid points, so right click, choose vertex and take it and place it over here. Right, so let's check it. Okay, very good. Now let's remove that, and I'm gonna create a mirror now in the x-axis. So mirror, choose x, okay. Now select these two together, and again choose world, use transform coordinate center, and this time mirror in the y-axis. Okay, so now I have completed the geometry part of my table. In the materials section, we're going to see how we can map the wood material over this chair. So to complete the material process, switch to the materials video right now.